It's here.
It's here. I call this regular session of the Lovington City Commission to order. Shannon, roll call, please.
Mayor Roberts.
Here.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Here.
Commissioner Gandy.
Here.
Commissioner Bolt.
Here.
Commissioner White.
Here.
Okay. You'll join us in our invocation. Our heads. Father God, we just take this time and this time of Thanksgiving to recognize all the things that we are thankful for. Father, we just thank you for allowing us to live in a great community in the greatest country in the world. We especially are thankful for the weather during this time, Father. The fall is absolutely the best time of year in our community. We just take this time to be aware that there's going to be a lot of travelers this week as they are going to visit their families, and we ask that you be with them. We ask that you be with our first responders. We ask that you would be with all the personnel of our city, and we thank you for their work and diligence in keeping our city clean and safe. Father God, we just finally want to take this time to ask your wisdom in all of the decisions that we make this evening. Help us make the right decisions for our community. Through Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen. Amen. So join us in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, to see a symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. You may be seated.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda with one change. I'd like to remove the public hearing for the water conservation and waste prevention and the action item ordinance 614, adoption of the water conservation and waste prevention ordinance. Second.
Okay, motion second for the approval of the agenda with these corrections. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Shannon?
Commissioner Trujillo.
Yes.
Mayor Roberts.
Yes.
Commissioner Bolt.
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy.
Yes.
Commissioner White.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for consideration of the minutes of November 10th, 2025. Second.
Okay, motion second for the adoption of the minutes. Any further corrections, additions, or discussion? Hearing none. Shannon?
Commissioner Gandy.
Yes.
Commissioner Bolt.
Yes.
Commissioner White.
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Yes.
Mayor Roberts.
Yes. All right, brings us to our commissioners and staff report. Ms. Shannon, do you have anything for us this evening?
I don't believe I do,
Okay.
except we will be closed Thursday and Friday and a half a day Wednesday as well. So, if it happens. We close at noon on Wednesday.
All right.
We'll be back Monday morning.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Good job. Is that all until we get to the public hearing part?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Ms. Laura?
No, sir, nothing today.
Nothing to see. Okay, well, thank you for being here. Chief?
Yes, sir. Mayor, Commissioner, City Manager. Lieutenant Jackson retired after 27 years of service, and today was his last day. We're in the process of going through the process to find his replacement. And I just want to thank Robert and I think it's the Park and Recs and working and repairing the park house.
Ah, all right, Chief. Go ahead.
And flood damage at the police and fire complex is approximately 75% done. And we just completed one process on one officer. We'll have a meeting next week to clarify a couple things, and then maybe we'll have a start date on her. But with that, I'll stand for any questions.
Commissioners? Oh, I just have a comment. I happened to be driving out to the hospital this morning, and one of the officers was definitely patrolling the new speed limit out there. Had one as I entered the hospital, finished that as I was leaving, and turned around and grabbed the next one. So I know that we're trying to get 30 miles an hour there and get it enforced. So.
And I think semi-trucks seem to be on the tail end of coming down Main Street. I don't see them very often anymore.
See fewer ones.
So, keep on it.
That's right. Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Fire chief.
Mr. Mayor, members of the commission, we're in the process right now of hiring one uncertified firefighter. He did drug tests and everything today, so we have to wait on that to come back. DFA released the state fire funds. We received those on November 12th, so we did get those in. I have ordered a new command truck, and that will be paid for out of the state fire funds. And then Siddons Martin called this afternoon and advised that our tanker is finally ready, so we will go pick that up tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. That's all I have. I will stand for any questions.
All right, questions? Did Ed call him up and chastise him and get your money sent over?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter how we got it,
Doesn't
right?
matter. We got it. That's
All right. All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Bolt.
Thank you. Thank everybody for being here tonight. A couple things. Thursday is Thanksgiving, so I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. I'd like to echo off Mayor Roberts, just one thing, that there's going to be a lot of traffic on the roads. So when you're out on the street, I know we're thinking about getting the family members, getting to where we got to go, cooking a meal and everything. Just make sure you stay vigilant on the roads. Keep an eye out for other travelers, because other people on the road may not be paying attention, and by you paying attention, you can make a difference. So just keep alert, keep aware out on the roads. This Saturday, I believe, is the official small shop businesses, Saturday the 29th. So that plays right into what I always say, shop local. Help out our small businesses, GRT that gets, that comes from small business shopping, grocery, even purchasing gas, anything you can do in Lovington, please do it. It helps every penny spent in Lovington, stays in Lovington, helps us out. So, but thank you all very much and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Commissioner Trio.
I'm good, thank you, sir.
All right, Commissioner White.
I'm good.
All right, Commissioner Gandy.
I was gonna be a smart aleck and say, see if we could change that from Small Business Saturday to Scott Bolt Shop Local
Saturday.
Saturday.
I think it's a little late.
Well, we tried.
I appreciate that.
The thought was there.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So I hope the next commissioner that replaces you has the same diligence that you have had in that.
Every week, every other week.
Yes. But other than that, sir, no, sir. I have nothing.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Piero, how are you this evening?
Fine, yourself, Mayor,
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Commissioners. I provided on, before we started meeting, the updated, in your packet, you received a schedule that shows all the changes in the cash balances within each fund. And then also there's a schedule of breakdown of the revenues and expenses compared to the budget. That was in your packet too. But what I did here on the updated schedule is down on the right-hand corner here. I put down, okay, where is that money located? What institution is it located at? And so you can see that at Lee County State Bank, there's non-interest bearing accounts of $26,000 approximately. Lee County State Bank interest bearing accounts, $25,540,000. The New Mexico Finance Authority has money that is put aside to retire debt. So that's 1.7 at the end of October.
Bless you.
Estacado Federal Credit Union, there's a CD interest bearing of $181,000. At Western Commerce Bank, CD interest bearing $180,000. In the New Mexico State Treasurer's Office, there's $42,000, and cash on hand is $3,517. So during these last several months, I've been really working hard to try to get caught up. And now I'm starting to get caught up in, so now I can start, as I stay current, I'm gonna start addressing problems that I see. And one of the problems that I see is the way the cash is invested. Basically, the city is not in compliance with state statutes. Okay, first of all, one state statute says the deposit of public money in a non-interest bearing account, the city can choose anywhere it wants to, as long as within its geographic boundaries. So in this case, Lee County State Bank, 26,000 non-interest bearing accounts, that's fine. That's what the city has chosen to do. The second state statute that talks about cash in interest-bearing accounts says that if you want to have cash in interest-bearing accounts, you have to divide them amongst the financial institutions within the geographic boundaries based on certain criteria. And the criteria is basically how strong of a bank they are. So if one bank has bigger assets, bigger equity, then you're gonna put more money into that. Okay. The city's not following that because all the money is in, the majority's at Lee County State Bank. So the city's failed in that, following that statute. The next statute says is that you have to invest money at the local banks have to equal at least what the state says they should be receiving.
The interest is what you're talking about.
Interest rate, the annual interest rate. Okay. And the state says that the state treasurer's pool is basically what the interest rate is. Okay. So if you invest something locally, it has to equal at least that amount of money. Okay. So at the end of October, the state treasurer was paying approximately 4.1% on its investments. 4.1. Okay. We have a big checking account at Lee County State Bank, and that's where we pay all the bills and the money comes in. They're paying interest, but they're only paying 0.10. So it's almost like 4% too low. Okay, that's not a violation of state statute. Then in the sweep account, that's where all the majority of the money is. They are paying currently 2.78. Remember, the state is paying 4%. So you can see that a point, it adds up because we've got like $22 million invested in there. Western Commerce Bank is paying 1.9 on their CD. And Estacado Federal Credit Union is paying 3.4. So all the interest, all the money that's being invested in the local banks, the interest rate's too low compared to what can be given at the state. Another problem with the Lee County State Bank investment is that state statute says that you cannot invest in banks outside of your geographic boundaries. So if you look on the paperwork that I gave you, there's a list of where all that money is invested. So what Lee County State Bank does is they buy CDs at various banks. And then they return a certain amount of money. They keep part of it, and then they pay the city part. And so there's two problems with that. It's too low, the interest rate's too low. Second problem is that the money's invested all throughout the United States. And the state statute says you can't do it. It has to be within. If you're gonna invest locally, it's gotta be local. If there's other vehicles you can use, such as US Treasury bills and all that. So I guess what I'm alerting the commission is there are serious violations of state statutes. And probably the best way to get out of those problems is to invest the money at the state treasurer's office. Now, I know that there might be some resistance to say, well, we don't want to send our money to Santa Fe when we can keep it here local. Well, you can keep it local if the institutions pay the right rate. If they refuse to pay the rate, and that's their choice, then you have no choice but to invest it at the state treasurer's office. Or do other sorts of investments, but you don't, for this size of municipality, you don't want to get involved with. I mean, if like say the city of Hobbs has millions and millions of dollars, so they may have different vehicles that they're using to invest that money, like US Treasury bills, US T-notes, US, whatever the various options are. The state treasurer is returning approximately 4.1. Now, they do charge a fee of 0.05 on what you're making, but that's still gonna put you over 4. So, it's something that the board has to look at and really consider. As far as last Thursday, we had the exit conference for the state, for the audit for fiscal year '24. The exit conference, we had myself, David, the city manager was there, Michael Betancourt, the mayor was present, and the mayor pro tem was present. So now, on that very day, after we had the meeting, the audit was sent up to Santa Fe and to the office of the state auditor, and they're in the process of reviewing. Our hope is that it gets reviewed quickly and can get released so that we're being hung up in DFA because of that audit report. We don't have a final approved budget for fiscal year '26. We can't submit quarterly reports because the system doesn't, if you don't have the approved budget, then you can't do the reports. And they're slow walking money. And they recently issued a grant, but they said if you don't have your audit in by, this is about an $80,000 grant. If you don't have your money in, or if you don't have your audit report in by December 14th, we're gonna take that grant back. You're not gonna get that grant. So we're trying to work with the state auditor, but it's kind of out of our hands in a certain respect at that point. Once we get that approved, we can move forward in getting this other caught up and then start turning our attention to fiscal year '25 audit, which should be a lot faster than what's happened here recently on '24. So I'll stand for any questions you may have.
Question?
I just have one. On the general fund, when it says 15 million, does that include like grant money that we received and we put it in there and different type of revenues that we received that are already allocated for projects? Is that why it's at 15, or is that a solid 15 million that is in the general fund? I'm just saying, how much of that money is allocated for different projects out of that 15 million?
Okay, so generally speaking, the general fund holds money that the city has discretion how they're going to spend the money. And a special revenue fund or a capital projects fund or an enterprise fund, they have particular allocations of the way you're going to spend it. For example, the lodger's tax fund. That's lodger tax money comes in, and it can only be spent on certain criteria, okay? But to answer your question, most of the money that's coming in, like, all of it can be spent based on the commissions on how they want to do the budget and how they want to spend it. So there could be some grant money that in the past, I'm thinking of animal control, where she tried to put, the director tried to put that money off to the side so that she makes sure nobody spends it. But really, it can't, it should be in the general fund. So that 15,000 or 15 million balance is pretty much available to be spent. Except, recall that the commission said back in 2017 that they wanted to keep 20% of the fund balance. And if I looked at, when I looked at the financial statements that we just sent up for the fiscal year 24 audit, 20% would be 3 million. So you want to keep 3 million locked away. 3 million out of that 15 million is basically set aside in case of a problem, rainy day type of thing. So.
Yeah, I just don't want it to be a misconception that we have 15 million ready to, even though we could spend it as we will, but it almost, it's like a misconception that there's 15 million extra. And sometimes people just look at it, it's like, well, why aren't we giving raises right now? Why aren't we doing all this stuff? We got 15 million in the bank. And it's kind of like a misconception when I see it, I said, I know that 15 million is allocated to different projects and different things. At the end of the day, how much of that 15 million is really ready available for, and I know 4 million would be because the county gave us 4 million at one time, so I know how that bunch is for, but.
Well, so on the budget, for the fiscal budget, the current budget is 11,760,000, almost 12 million. So the budget is what keeps the spending down. You really shouldn't go above that total. Okay.
But I just don't want it to be, because budgeting comes in March, is what I'm saying. We
Okay.
start to budget in March, and I want a clear picture for the new commissioners that come in that don't look at that big 15 million and say, hey, where are we going with this?
But we've already, the commission has already said we're to spend 11 million this year, 12 million approximately.
Okay.
And you have 15 million, so that 3 million is put off to the side. And basically, if you wouldn't receive any additional revenue in the current year, then you would have enough to pay your expenditures for the rest of the year. But we know that you're gonna get gross receipts, you're gonna get all this other property taxes and all this other sources of revenue are gonna come in. The EMS, what's going on with Norlee and various programs, projects. So I would say generally speaking is that the city's healthy financially. I agree with you, you don't want to get the idea you can spend all kinds of money. That's why you have a budget, and that's why you keep to that budget. And you hold the city manager and your staff to that budget. Don't be spending over that amount, period. Unless you come in here in front of us and say, well, we have this problem, we need to get it fixed or whatever. Then we'll expand the budget for you. But if not, you have to stay within the budget.
Exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
And I have a couple of comments. I'm gonna go back to the banking side. I actually, the bank that I'm involved with, I specifically work with investments. And when you spoke that we have to keep a prorated amount in the local banks, we have to offer it to them. They don't have to take it.
Exactly correct statement.
Because the majority of those offerings are going to be interest bearing.
Right.
And so the statute that you stated as far as what you have to receive is true. I'm going to be honest that most of the entities in the state of New Mexico don't necessarily use the state bank. I specifically went to the county and also, of course, the hospital. We spoke of several. They do not use the state bank. Sometimes it's very difficult to get your money out of the state bank. But there are other vehicles, like, as you spoke, that can match that rate and may not be local, but they fall under the guidelines. They use treasurers. And so when we get to that point, I would like to invite and have a meeting with some advisors from the county, either Chip or the state, or the county treasurer can come and explain, because I spoke to her directly and she gave me some options, what they do.
Right.
And
Well, you know, the statutes also say that the Board of Finance should meet at least once every 2 years. So I suspect the Board of Finance for the city of Lovington hasn't met for a while,
yeah,
given the history.
exactly.
But that should occur, and then those are when those decisions are made on how to move forward with that. But you're absolutely right. You can offer it to the bank, and if they say, well, we don't want to pay that rate, business-wise, we can't, we just can't do it, then they don't have to take the money. But then the city wants to try to maximize the citizens' money.
Absolutely.
Invest it someplace else.
Yes, I agree.
And then not in the market or anything like that. You know,
No. There's a lot of rules on it, yes.
Exactly.
And it has to be collateralized and
Right.
everything.
Right.
But when you get to that point, then I think you should, when you are ready to start evaluating that, and kind of let the commission and the city manager know, and we'll see if we can get some advisors, and we will create or put together the people for a finance board, and we will get this moving.
Okay.
We just haven't, to this point, haven't had the ability to discern exactly what we have and how it's allocated.
Sure.
So it's time, and I agree, and I appreciate you bringing that to the commission's notice.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you. City manager.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, the GRT number for September 2025 was $1,130,740.89. This marks the 6th month in a row with a GRT number over $1 million. Our trailing 12-month average is over $1 million per month for the first time ever. Once again, retail and construction sectors led the way. The City of Lovington is making significant progress on installing the Safe Haven Baby Box. The Baby Box has been ordered and is nearly ready for installation. A structural engineer is currently reviewing the project to ensure all design and safety standards are met. We have also hired an electrician who is ready to handle all electrical work once construction begins. Our general contractor is reviewing the final plans and working on obtaining the necessary permits from the state of New Mexico. Since this service aims to protect our most valuable and vulnerable infants, we are taking every precaution and ensuring that no corners are cut. Our primary focus is to make sure the installation meets the highest safety standards, ensuring that the Baby Box is reliable and prepared right from the start. We expect to be finished soon, and we're eager to share more updates as we hit key milestones. And Claire from the Chamber could be last year, taking it by the Lovington Healthcare. And the parade begins at 7 p.m. next Monday. And the county has their Christmas tree lighting at 6 p.m. the same day. If there's any questions, I believe Misty is here from the Chamber. And that's all I have.
Okay. Questions?
How many-
Oh, Commissioner Trujillo.
Mine's short and sweet. The Albertson, the United deal on Evan with EDC stated to me about the extension off that 500,000 or something. Make sure
Yes,
that,
sir.
just in case they go a little, is that in the works?
Yes, it is. It's going
I
to be
didn't
at
know
the
how to
next
explain
meeting
that.
or the meeting after that. They probably need 1, maximum 2 more months.
2 more months,
Just to give them a little bit of a cushion. It's probably going to be a week or 2, but we don't want to say 1 month and then have to make it 2 months.
Okay, yes,
So,
just want to make
yeah.
sure that was in the works. I didn't see her right here in the audience, I was in reminder of that to
No,
talk to
yeah,
you about.
we have that on the schedule.
Okay, good, thank you.
All right, Commissioner White.
How many alleys are there in Lovington?
How many alleys? I
Yeah.
will check. They don't, some months they do more than others, but
Would they do 1 alley, 4
Yeah, I
alleys?
think I've given them a
How long will
year.
it take us?
I think I'd give them a year or
It's
two.
gonna take them about 30.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just wondering why we even put that in here.
There's 45 miles of alleys,
They're not
So,
a mile in.
and they're doing 4 houses. My great grandchildren never see all the streets
I
done.
This
So,
one.
the grader won't last that long.
Any further questions? Thank you, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Kate, how are you this evening? Anything other than on the agenda?
Very good educational and fun experience on both of our training conferences for the zoning league officials and
Counselor?
Mayor and Commissioners, don't have anything new to talk about at the meeting. Based on the change in our agenda, remove ordinance 614. Probably won't have any substantive comments, but happy to stand for any questions if you have some.
Okay, questions? Public comment time. For those that are here that have something for us that you would like to address to the commission, please step forward to the podium, announce your name. No one's just jumping up, so don't be bashful because we move on quickly.
Already counted 3 twice, come on.
All right, then no one's moving. All right, then we'll pass that to our non-action items with the removal of one of our public hearings, and we will be entering into the public hearing for ordinance 615, a partition project. We will be opening the hearing. If anyone has anything to offer for or announce your name and give your testimony, either for or against this. I see no one moving, so don't think anybody's gonna have any testimony. Ms. Shannon, do you have anything that you would like to bring forward with this, or read, or?
By Lee County State Bank a few months ago, they're attempting to improve their sidewalks on the south and north sides of their bank. Before the EDC board, it was determined that this would probably not be a good fit using Logart funds, but the city does have available funds cost with Lee County State Bank to be paid upon completion, and it would be not to exceed $4,200, and it would be better.
Commissioners, any questions? And I will proceed to close this hearing, and we will be moving on to the action.
Just might be a quick. Adopt ordinance to allow a PPA with the Lee County State Banks and Lovington Economic Development to provide funding for ADA sidewalks and ramps around Lee County State Bank.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the adoption of this ordinance. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Shannon?
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Gaines,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowe.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2025-089. Having a hard time spitting that word out. Variance on the side yard setback of 1 foot 4 inches with an encroachment of 8 inches for the front porch on 1020 South 4th Street.
Okay, that's 8 foot, not 8 inch encroachment.
Okay, so maybe my drinking's getting out of control.
Okay. We have a motion and second for the consideration of this resolution. Do you have this one, Kate?
yes.
All right.
I'd love to give you some background. Resolution 2025-089 is a request for the side yard setback of 1 foot 4 inches and 8 foot encroachment for the future porch to the front of the manufactured home, into the existing 24-foot easement beyond the back of the curb, and the existing 80-foot right-of-way on 4th Street. So this permit was approved by our planning and zoning coordinator, and the owner was issued a city work permit. At the time, I was new to the position and unaware an inspection needed to be completed prior to issuing the work permit, which is the placement permit. and Crystal was out at that time. So the whole reason this is going on is because I did a placement incorrectly. So I want that to be noted as a really important part of it. Once Crystal returned to work, she found that the manufactured house did not meet the required 15 side yard setback. And the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval for the variance of the 1 foot 4 inch side yard setback with the encroachment of 8 foot for the front porch for several reasons. One being that all along 4th Street, there are many properties that encroach the easement. And this is sort of Crystal's part here, we would never be able to do the full 80 for that easement anyhow. And all future projects to put in sidewalks or take that city easement for city use would be 50 to 60 feet of the road, but not the full 80. So, let's see. The prior structures on site were also on the property line or may have even been encroaching. And without the approval of the commission tonight, the owner does stand to lose her home warranty due to the needing to move it more than one time after the initial placement. If you look at, on the site plan, I'm not sure if you have it in front of you, you can see that 24 feet from the outside line there, that's the space from the back of the curb to the front of her manufactured home. She does want to put a 9 by 10 front porch for access to her home at the front. There's 1 foot 4 inches there that she's got. So she would need a maximum of an 8 foot encroachment onto that easement and that 24 foot area. Is there questions?
And Miss Ball texted me and said we could recommend a smaller front porch. Also.
Okay. My first question is, are the homeowners here?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I was pretty sure it's one of the groups over here, but, okay. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for coming in to originally get this permit and all of that, and not just taking it and running with it. I apologize that all of this has occurred. I realize the 1 foot and 4 inches,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I'm assuming, Kate, that neighbors have been notified, no one has a problem with it.
Right.
It's not gonna be no part of this is gonna be a vision impairment
Right.
on a corner or anything like that.
That is correct. Most of the properties along 4th Street are also encroaching, some even further. So it wouldn't impair the vision of anyone for that right of way, given that situation.
Between the porch and the street, how many feet they have remaining?
24 feet.
I mean,
Between
so
the
it'd only
front
be-
of the house and the back of the curb. It's an 8-foot easement.
Okay. I was trying to see what side, so there's 24 feet on the front, or is that the back porch or one that?
They're missing
So-
16 inches on the front.
Okay, so the 24 feet is back of the curb and then 4th Street, and then another probably 20 feet on the other side.
But their front porch, they want a 9 by 10 front.
Yes.
Well, that's nice.
Puts it with 16 feet.
Oh, that's what you're asking. Okay, so yeah, about 16 feet left.
15.
15.
15
Right.
feet from the front of the porch to the
Curb.
Mhm.
curb.
That's what it is.
To the curb of the property line.
Yeah, I see.
It's a curb.
Not that big bird.
It's a property line, she's right up against the property line the way.
So let me walk through this, just so I make sure I understand, so I apologize.
That's all right.
So the front of the house is basically sitting on the front property line.
Yes.
And the property line from there to this other line over here, that's the curb, correct? That 24 foot,
Yes,
okay, and that's our easement basically.
yes, so there is an 80-foot easement, so it's at 24, and then,
The rest of the street's
80
in the
minus
middle.
24 to the other side of
Okay.
the street.
One of the things I want to make sure you understand, and there's somewhat of a misconception, it might be my misunderstanding, but just on this diagram, north of the house, when it says property line, I don't think that's their actual property line. I think their property line would be at the back of the curb. It's just that's where the easement comes over. So that porch, if you approve the 9 by 10, it's not sticking out into someone else's property. It's still their property. It's just it's going into that portion that's an easement. So where it says property line, that should be over here, the back of the curb, basically.
So if we widen the street, the sidewalk might be right at their front door.
No,
It'd be at the
Chris
front
was
of the
saying that
porch.
that's not actually the case, that if they needed to put in the sidewalks, only 50 to 60 feet of that easement will be used, and it will not be right up near their house.
Okay.
She was saying there was sufficient space.
Okay.
So where exactly is 1000 block on South 4th Street?
So it's a-
Give me a different reference, because the picture gives me absolutely nothing I remember on that.
It's 4th and Avenue J.
It's the northwest corner. It's the site of where the city demolished those
Those
three.
There's 3 structures.
Okay,
Structures.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
So
That we're way out of
we're definitely
accordance.
improving the.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, and the previous structures were also either on the property line or encroaching, as most of the properties along 4th Street.
Lovington. Sorry, that was supposed to be inside.
Any further questions?
I have none.
All right. Ms. Shanks?
Mayor Roberts,
It's Chris.
Since it's well, I know, since a lot of it was, had an error with the city, and I don't mean that disrespectful to Kate. But anyway, I would hate to see them incur further, either loss of warranty or whatever, so, yes.
Commissioner Bolt,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy,
Even though it struggles to say yes. Yes.
Commissioner White.
Yes.
Stroke.
Tastes nasty. Oh, there's another one.
And there's,
Oh,
yes,
You can see.
you're not done.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2025-090, variance approval of a new carport with no front yard
Zero.
setback at 805 West Monroe Avenue.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for consideration of this resolution. All right, continue on.
Okay. Resolution 2025-089, this is a variance request to allow a new 17-foot by 28-foot carport to be built without a front yard setback. The owner would like permission for the construction of a carport for the necessary protection of her vehicles from hailstorms. The property currently has no garage or any sheltered spaces to safeguard the owner's vehicles. As a result, the owner's vehicles sustained damage during this year's hail events. The cost of repairs is several $1,000s, which puts considerable strain on the owner's finances and peace of mind as hail season approaches once again. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval for the carport with conditions set forth. Those conditions are that the owner agrees to apply to the New Mexico Construction Industries Division for a homeowner's building permit for the carport, and that the carport will be inspected by the NMCID inspector in order to verify that the structure has been built in compliance with state requirements and regulations. And that the owner will comply within 12 months with the previously stated conditions, or the variance will be null and void.
Are they tying into that front porch, or is there space in between the porch and the curb? Because it looks like there's space, but I'm just asking.
Yeah, so that front porch that's pictured actually has a roof that comes out right
Yes.
along that line, and I think,
Looks
It
like
will-
they're gonna leave a foot or two.
yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay. Are these owners present?
Yes. They are present.
So, where's the sidewalk go?
Would you like, she's given you whatever, you have the ability to come forward if you have anything to say, so.
Setback. Does that have a setback sidewalk on that? Or is it up against the curb?
There's a trailer parked right there.
Sorry, what was your question?
So the sidewalk, where's the sidewalk? Is it set back like we did on, Jackson? Jackson?
No, I can't actually recall.
Where's your
if
phone?
that's
Google
how
Map.
far that's set back.
Who's that?
805 South Monroe.
Monte? My typing is questionable.
We'll also add that the owner has done their due diligence several times over by getting
I don't know. Go
20 signatures from all their neighbors asking if this would be all right, if anyone has an issue with it. So they did a lot of good work on that. Even with revisions of site plans, they went around and got signatures twice during the modification process.
I'm sorry. I don't have a radius. It's one of those.
Do the overhead.
There's no sidewalks on the street. We have paved driveways and.
What's your satellite be? Oh my gosh.
I think Commissioner White is correct that there's not
No
sidewalks.
sidewalks.
Not that I
There's no
remember.
sidewalks, okay. All right, that was
All
the
right,
question I had.
remember it.
Well, like, well, paved driveways to the edge,
Yep,
but no
no sidewalks.
sidewalks. How far out does that go? That's not a good drawing, because it doesn't say.
We get out of here early, Scotty.
Sorry.
We're doing math.
So so how
meter
far,
wide.
from, what is the overall length when it says zero setback? Is it going all the way to the edge of the street? What are we talking about here?
No, it's inside their driveway,
You can see it on the picture right there, Scotty.
12 foot
There's a
back.
picture on your screen, on your laptop screen.
No
Yeah.
sidewalks exist, we need to put them in like we did Jackson, so that's coming.
So it's 12 foot from the back of the curb to the property line, and 17 from the edge of the front porch to the property line.
And they're wanting to come out.
Just see that on
17
your
feet to the
screen.
property line,
You can-
and then there's another 12
I'm
foot
trying to
to
get
the
there.
back of curb.
Anything?
11
Oh, you got it,
3
you already got it, it's right there.
Oh, yeah, they have that picture.
Let's see the edge of the sea. And my question is
You can see where
from the front porch to the street is how far?
29 to the back of the curb,
The back of the curb. And then, so they're wanting to build it how long?
17 feet, which
Oh,
is
so
to
you
the,
s-
to
so
the
you have-
property line.
10 feet?
12 feet.
12 feet, okay. All right.
You can see where they planted that anchor right there on their concrete. I think that's where as far as they're going.
Looks like a U.
It's a former. Okay. Got it. We're ready now. We did on it.
Okay, are you good? Ms. Price, I have a question. What are y'all not considering nowadays?
Well,
Property line is 12
the
feet
property line is
behind the curb.
still in their property line. It doesn't go into the easement for the sidewalk, so it's just right there on it. Just like.
She said,
It's like about 2/3 of the other ones that were improperly built.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
and she said that behind the curb to their property line is 12.
I understand, well, yeah, the 12 feet is
is
the
the sidewalk
easement.
easements.
The easement for the roadway
Right.
is the 12 feet. And then you got 17 feet from
To the
that
porch.
to the front of the house.
Mhm.
No, I understand. I'm
And she
just-
said if they added sidewalks and stuff, it would not encroach that 12 feet.
Yeah, it won't encroach that in any way.
Okay. Do we need to rewrite our ordinance is what it's gonna come down to. If we're gonna keep passing them, then I guess we need to rewrite the ordinance.
Yes.
Okay,
We
then,
need to redo a few.
But is this really a variance, or is it just within, it's so close that you want to
You
double
have
look
to
at it?
because it being so close.
Because they don't really cross that line, do they? They're just bumped up to it?
It's a bump, but it can still
Right on it.
go either way.
Okay,
You know, the state might go, no, that's just that much too much.
right,
So we need to cover it.
okay.
And they're really good about doing everything. They got their permits.
I know, and I
They didn't ask for
fully
forgiveness.
commend
Yes.
them. I know, I
What?
commend
Got
them
permits
for
first?
doing it
Yes.
correctly. They didn't build it and then say, ooh,
Oh,
we're sorry. No, and that's the reason at least we're favorable in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I just think that maybe the goal is to, let's get the ordinance cleaned up and we'll take this whatever, out of the judgment calls.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna stand now.
I'm sorry.
I'll stand because I'm next too.
Oh, well then, continue on. All right. Any further questions? Shannon?
Commissioner Trujillo?
Yes.
Commissioner White?
Yes.
Mayor Roberts?
Yes.
Commissioner Bowe?
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy?
I hate variances, but I would say yes.
Oh, you are generous tonight.
I got one more meeting.
I know. All right,
Mr. Mayor,
you
I'd
are
like to
next. I am so sorry.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2025-091. Approve request for fiscal year 26, third and fourth quarter lodgers tax fund.
Second.
Motion and second for consideration of this resolution.
Do we know the balance of lodger's tax?
Oh, I don't know, that's it.
67,000.
Oh, it's right there.
It's,
No, that's the ask, the whole account.
it's
Yeah.
just a little bit under.
Is it on
Right
that
here,
green
look
paper?
at, it's on the paper. Yeah.
Well, there's not 67,000.
This is after.
There's 81 cows.
Well, right now, there's 27,000 in there, but
This is for the next 6 months.
it's, yeah,
It
Yeah.
anticipates revenue.
yeah, you can have revenue coming in there.
So we probably have the 80 again.
We tried to get, the beginning of the year was
I
81,000.
just don't like
I
voting
think,
on
well, the
things
total
when
last
there's so much in.
54,000 or 63.
Yeah, but it's-
67.
Yeah.
I know that, and it just bothers me, that's why
We tried to be, fair to all of them.
generous looked like the word to me, but
Yeah.
Do you ever know your balance when you go in there for the
Yes.
meeting? Okay.
Should.
We're only able to talk about balance.
No, that's just,
We even talked, and some of the other groups that talked to us too, about getting it changed so that we don't take the money out of lodger's tax for their
Right.
incentive. So they can get more money for more projects.
Take it out of the general fund.
So if we okay this tonight, when does it disperse?
between now and June,
Yeah, there's different dates on there.
January to June.
Okay. Just checking.
Because some of them are starting a little earlier than the others.
Because we just don't have.
And the party in the park is actually falls within the next fiscal year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, any further questions? Hearing none. Shannon?
Commissioner Gandy,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowe,
Yes,
Commissioner White,
No, I just
Commissioner
don't think
Trujillo,
there's no money.
Yes.
Mayor Roberts.
Never money in there.
I know, I just don't.
Yes. All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We appreciate it. All right, Ms. White,
I'd like a motion, make a motion, pay bills.
second.
we have a motion and second to
I'd like a motion.
approve the accounts payable.
That's what.
Mr. Bolt. All right. Shannon. Oh, caught her unaware.
Commissioner Bowe,
Yes,
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Gandy,
I'm done. You're good. You're good. I didn't ask you. I'm sorry.
Thought he was gonna get a raise before he left.
I knew better than that. Never voted for one, so why would I give one?
Vote for one now and then you can have one.
Come back here.
After you sit out.
Yes.
Commissioner White.
Yes.
Okay. With that, the item of the agenda is exhausted. We are adjourned. How do we do that? Looky there.
1 hour.